I'm Rebecca from the Playroom Bookshelf, and today I'm going to read you a story out of this book. It's called Poppy and Sam's Animal Stories, and it's full of fun stories about Poppy and Sam, who live on Appletree Farm. Here's a map of the farm. And here's a list of the stories. The one we're going to read today is called Naughty Woolly, and it's on page 169. But first I want to tell you about the characters in this story. These are Poppy and Sam, and they live on the farm with their dog Rusty and their kitten Whiskers, their daddy and their mommy, Mr. and Mrs. Boot, and Ted, who's their friend who helps out on the farm. Today the story is about Woolly the sheep, but there are lots of other stories in this book about many different animals and friends too. This story is called Naughty Woolly. And it's a special story because on every page you can look and find this little ducky hiding in the picture somewhere. "Eat up," said Mrs. Boot one morning. "We're off to the country fair today." "Hooray," said Sam. "What's that?" "People show things from their farm," said Mrs. Boot. "They show the things they grow, and sometimes they're animals." "Let's show them our apples," said Poppy. After breakfast they went to the apple tree. It was full of ripe, shiny apples. Can you see them there? Soon they had picked enough for 2 baskets. "We could take some flowers too." They were so busy talking about the fair that they didn't notice the open gate. But Woolly did. "I wonder what's outside this field," thought Woolly. She looked around. The other sheep were munching grass, so she walked to the open gate and dashed through. She wandered along until she found another open gate. This one led to a wonderful garden. The flowers looked beautiful, and they tasted delicious. Woolly ate her way through them all. Yellow ones, red ones, blue ones, pink ones, purple ones, and finally orange ones. Yum, yum. Just then, Rusty noticed Woolly in the garden and started barking. "Woof!" "Woolly," shouted Mrs. Boot when she saw the state of the garden, "what have you done?" She was very upset. "The flowers are ruined," she said. "I can't take any to the fair now, you naughty sheep." "Don't be sad," said Poppy. "We have the apples, and they're perfect." Mrs. Boot was still thinking about her flowers. Sam was impatient to get to the fair. "Let's go." So Mrs. Boot found their coats and they set off. Woolly watched them go. Looks like someone else is watching too, who's hiding up in the tree. Woolly decided to visit the fair too. Woolly trotted all the way there. Then she trotted through the entrance. There were lots of people, all eager to visit the fair. No one noticed Woolly joining them. Woolly saw some other sheep and went over. "Well, well, who do we have here?" said a man in a long white coat and hat. "Bah," said Woolly. "Oh, not again," said a voice. Mrs. Boot had just seen Woolly. "What mischief are you up to now?" "Is this your sheep?" said the man. "I'm afraid she is," said Mrs. Boot. The man in the white coat smiled. "Your sheep has just won the first prize in the best sheep competition. She's won a cup." "Clever Woolly," said Sam as they all headed home. "Naughty Woolly for eating my flowers," said Mrs. Boot. She smiled at the cup. "But I'm not sure my flowers would have won a cup," she added. "Clever, Naughty Woolly." And that's the end of that story. But next time I can read to you about a horse named Dolly and how she saves a train. If you would like to get a copy of this book for yourself so you can read all of the stories, you can find it at playroombookshelf.com.